Hi guys, last time we left off on our last EntitledParents, we read the story by Brightside 256. So this is the update. Hi everyone, here is the link to my original post, aka Event 1, the one we read. Sorry for not updating in a while, but I have been incredibly busy at work and was not able to find time to update. Here are a few more things that Entitled Mother has done to my family and my neighbors since the first incident. Event 2. I came home from shopping the next day and found out that Entitled Mother went into my backyard a second time. I was out at the hardware store buying a new lock for the gate when this occurred. Before I had left to go shopping, I asked my elderly neighbor to keep an eye out for Entitled Mother just in case. Here's what my neighbor told me happened. She said that Entitled Mother and her kids were in my yard playing with my family's lawn games. We have several such as lawn darts, ladder ball, a fake axe throwing game, I love those games, etc. She didn't know how long they had been in the yard, but when she noticed them, she went onto her deck and told them to leave. After making a fuss again, they complied and left. Apparently, a lot of swearing and a full-blown tantrum was involved. I went into the yard to investigate and see if anything had been taken. Nothing was taken, but most of the games had damage. A few darts were snapped, an axe was broken, and my inflatable unicorn float for the pool was popped. I was livid at this point, and I couldn't believe this happened again. I spoke to my parents about this incident, and I wanted to call the police. My parents told me not to bother, though that it was just cheap stuff and that I should let it go. They told me that the police wouldn't care about something so trivial. Ultimately, they are the homeowners, so it was not my decision. I did make a point of taking all the broken pieces and throwing them over her front lawn. A few bags of dog waste included for extra fun. Event 3. The entitled kids, I guess that's what it means, went into another elderly neighbor's front garden and picked almost every one of her flowers. She had a beautiful garden with roses and other expensive flowers in it. I was my neighbor's pride and joy. It was my neighbor's pride and joy. The one who posted this forgot the T. She had been working on the garden ever since I was a child. I was walking my dog when I found her crying in her garden as she cleaned up the mess. When she told me the story of what happened, it broke my heart. It broke my heart right now, because I can't just stand people like that. I asked her if she was going to call the police, and she said that she already had. They had come earlier in the day and had gone over to talk to Entitled Mother. I'm so happy right now. Entitled Mother defended her entitled kids' actions by saying it was her birthday and the entitled kids, oh, my charger fucked up, thought she deserved a beautiful present. Wasn't that lovely of them? She even proudly showed the bucket off to the police officer. The police didn't do anything other than give her a verbal warning and file a report. Event 4. Oh god, there are so many events. The neighborhood has a park only 3 houses down from Entitled Mom's home. Oh no. Instead of walking there like a normal person, she would load her kids up in the car and drive them there. There isn't a parking lot at this park, and most people who drive there will park on the side of the road. Not Entitled Mother, though she will run over the curb and park directly beside the children's playground equipment. She has done this numerous times, regardless of if there are other people at the playground. She would just honk her horn at you and scream for you to move. I have a video and pictures of her doing this. For the purpose of keeping this anonymous, I'm not going to post them as our park has a unique setup. Some of the other neighborhood parents were obviously furious over her actions, and she was confronted about her behavior. I stood with them watching as I was walking my dog at the time, and I was very curious to see how this ended. They told her she could hit a child or animal by doing this. She just started saying we were racist and that we were harassing her. How the fuck are they racist? Wait, seriously. I need to check out what the fuck racism is again. She then went and called the police on us. What the fuck? Is she crazy? She was acting very smug by doing this and seemed genuinely proud of herself. She told the group that we were going to be sorry for the way we have treated her since she moved in. Okay, this is just stupid. I want to see her the judgment. As soon as the police came, she began to cry and claim that we had all been harassing her for weeks. She made up a whole bunch of lies about things we had done to her. She even threw herself on the ground and acted like a kid. Two of her kids joined in on the spectrum, and the others just continued to play. The police interviewed everyone who was present and was very clear that she was wrong in the situation. The police pulled her aside and talked to her. She was given a very hefty ticket for reckless driving, and she was told that if this happened again, she would be charged. For once, she was silent and just left with her kids. To my knowledge, she has not done this again since. That is all I have time to tell you about right now, and I better get back to work before my boss notices. I wish I had more time to tell you everything that has happened, but I promise to update again soon. Okay, comment by GP0315. She starts to do anything again, be prepared to call the police. If it begins to escalate, don't hesitate. I mean, that's basically every life. That's true. Alright. This post is by Redditor222. Give me your dog or else. Disclaimers, my English is trash. Don't really know how to format, so let me know. Context. I walk my dog at least 2 times a day and do the same pattern and route every time I walk him. Check my post story for a picture of my dog. I probably won't. This happened when I was taking my dog on the second walk right before his dinner. I am closing up the final stretch as I pass a house with 2 kids and an adult getting into the car. During that, I hear one scream, "A puppy!" So that was pretty normal, but that's when the mom, who will now be referred as Entitled Mom. Entitled Mom, do you like that dog, honey? Kids, yeah, he's super cute. P.S. Car had windows down, so it was pretty easy to hear. Then Entitled Mother pulls out of the driveway and slowly pulls up to my only like 10 feet away from the house. Hey, OP, can my daughter have your dog? She really likes it, and you don't look like you want him. You don't look like you want your dog. You walk him every day and give him dinner at freaking schedule. You don't like him. Sorry, I had to do that. Sorry, you can't have him. Why not? Because my daughter wants it. Don't you? What? What does that even mean? No, I just want a dog. Well, you get this one. At that point, Entitled Mother tries to snatch my dog, but I still have the leash as I hold him back. Another fact is my dog gets very protective of himself and me. I can be too. And bites Entitled Mother. Okay, I love this dog already. Shocked. How dare you? You have to your dog attack me? I'm calling your animal dog. Come on, Fenway, my dog. Let's go. At the end of that encounter with Entitled Mother, she has also tried to steal my dog from my backyard. We called the police, but she only got a warning. Sorry, most of the story is edited on post mid-clicked post after context said what's okay. I'm gonna adopt a dog in a few months, hopefully. I'm planning to adopt something fairly large, though I'm not good at these names. Malinois, maybe Doberman. Or if I'm feeling witty, a Bernese. Depends on the shelter or breeder, to be honest. And I hope I never encounter an entitled mother like this for her sake. For her sake. Comment by Atlas 303. Alright, post by N_Marin and entitled kids sneak into my sister's and grandma's backyard, surprised when we threaten to call the cops. Okay, so I'm on mobile and English isn't my first language. Same. TLDR at the bottom. I don't know if this fits here. If you find a better subreddit for this, please tell me and I will move it. Also, I don't know if they're entitled. I just thought to post it here. So, I'm in my grandma's village currently, and this happened probably around 10 to 15 minutes ago as I'm writing this sentence. Here's the cast. Me, magical elevator. Just magical. Okay, I love this guy. It's just me, OP. B, my younger brother. Okay, I'm just gonna call him brother. E, key 1, 4, until kid 1 through 4. G, grandma. Mom 1 and 2. Mom 1 and 2. Grandma, I'm not sure. So let's start the story. My sister went on a vacation with her your parents 2 days ago. So the backyard where her tree house is now for me and my brother, but her friends sneak there every day. And then mostly argue and scream. It wouldn't be so bad if people didn't live there, but they were. So they complain to my grandma every day about all the noise. She already told kid 1 through 4 to be quiet. He means quiet. And to go somewhere else if possible. But they still come to the treehouse. So today I come there to play with my brother, but they were there. I was fine with that. But later they started to trick my brother and just play with him even though he didn't want to. He is 4. Their age is from 7 to 12. So at first it was funny, but then they started to hurt him and shove their feet into his face. I took my brother, yelled at them for being rude, then went home. I like this guy. We told our grandmas, we are with 2 right now. They are sisters, but only the second one will be important in the story. So she went into the treehouse, and we went as well. When we came, they were still there, laughing and being loud. Grandma told them to leave, since she already told them multiple times these 3 days. Oh boy, this is where the tea starts. Not everything might be 100% correct. I didn't pay much attention, and this was translated from Serbian to English in my head. Leave now. I don't want to see you here anymore. You can tell us to leave. We are just playing here. Brother told me you shoved feet in his face and hurt him. What? No, we didn't. Looking at me in anger. Why did you tell her we were here? Because I need to protect my brother? Look, OP and brother are my grandchildren, and I need to protect them. It's not okay to do that. Grandmother said that. So what are you gonna do? You can't make us leave. We're just sitting here. Tells them to wait outside the gate. I'm gonna call the police and your parents if you don't stop coming here. We're still kids. The police can't do anything. Yeah, but your parents can go to jail for sneaking into someone's backyard. So Grandma of the moms of a tall kid and a tall kid. What are you gonna do? Tell our mummies? They were basically young at this point. So they argued more and yelled, and then Mother 1 and 2 came. Grandma explained what happened, and they were sent home. Thank God Mother 1 and 2 weren't entitled. They were really understanding. I did this after thinking a bit. The mothers probably are a bit entitled. They just kept saying I'm sorry and then didn't even ground them. Shaking my head. I don't know if they get crowded or not. We'll see that tomorrow. They did. If anything happens, I'll update the post. He just did. TLDR, a tall kid sneaked into my grandma's backyard, lied, mothers were called, and then sent down. My grandma can be the sweetest person, but if you do something bad, you will regret it. Update 1. I went there to check on my brother, and surprisingly, they weren't there. They probably got granted. Update 2. In caps. I met the three cousins there outside in the backyard and they're talking about something. Oh, yeah. They looked at me with a death stare. I'm like, I'm gonna be scared. They also glued some chewing gum on the entrance of the treehouse and wrote their names on there. Stuck in my head. Also, my grandma got new customers for her apartment, and they were Australians. She just came and said she forgot to take me since she doesn't know English. And my other grandma asked if they know English. I had to explain they speak English in Australia. Comment by Rex Macy Writer. Do update, please. Yeah, he did. Alright. Next post is by Live to Rock 13. Tell parents complain about fence in my backyard with an M. Night Shyamalan twist at the end. This event just happened over a year ago, and many specific details will be changed for obvious legal reasons. Cast, me, ED, entitled Dad, that's new. E, me, entitled Mom, Cup 2, and Cup 1. For a little bit of context, I live in a duplex with some of my family. I live on the bottom floor while my grandparents lived on the top floor. One spring, we tried planting new bushes and flowers in our backyard, only to discover that deer were jumping over our little fence and eating the plants. Since we were tired of dumping money on plants that would be destroyed, we instead decided to build a taller wooden fence along the old metal mesh fence. It worked perfectly. No deer or other critters in our backyard, and our lodge began to grow beautifully. Enter the drama 1 month later. I get home from work one afternoon and see the person who I cast as entitled Mom leave our front porch where my grandparents are, with an unhappy look on her face, walking back across the street to her house. I asked my grandparents what happened, to which my grandmother told me that her 2 kids, both 4 to 5-year-olds, were upset that we put the fence in our backyard to keep the deer out, and that it was blocking the kids' view from their bedroom to view the admittedly beautiful creek that ran behind our house. Quick note, I have been in the exact room her boys were in, as I've been over to their house when it was owned by the previous owner and his sons. You can easily see the creek behind our house, across the street from their window. My grandparents told entitled Mom that we wouldn't be tearing it down, and that's when she left. The next day, on my day off from work, I'm home by myself, drinking coffee and watching some Game of Thrones in the morning, roughly 10 to 11 a.m. 11 a.m. Then there's a knock on my front door. I take a quick peek through my living room windows and see that it is in fact entitled Mother. Luckily, my living room door connects to the hallway, and there's a table with a lamp on it right next to the door that I placed my phone and hit record. Call it in situation paranoia or an instinct, but something told me to use my phone. I opened the door and we both exchanged the usual greetings. Then we get to watch what was talked about yesterday. Tell mother, do you live here? Yes. Okay. So are you aware of the fence in your backyard? Yeah. I helped cement the poles and hammer on the planks. Well, you see, there's a beautiful creek that runs behind your house that my boys loved, and looking at that's now blocked. Do you think you can tear it down for them? I made sure I politely told her no, and then explained why we put it up in the first place. Their mother told me that it was unfortunate I said not to, and then left. I went to my phone, made sure I got the recording, and discovered that the audio was crystal clear. This will come in handy later. Pretty sure it's because of the police. A few hours later, I hear not a, another knock at my door. I peek through my living room windows and see that it is in fact entitled Dad. I repeat the same process I did before, and the conversation went as follows. Was my wife over here earlier? Yeah. Did she talk about your fence in your backyard? Yeah. Well, listen, buddy, you would really be doing me a favor if you tore that down, so I wouldn't have to hear her nag for the next week. So could you help me out here? That's really unfortunate, but as I told her, I'm not going to tear down something that I helped put up and paid for. Well, that's unfortunate. Tile Dad said his farewells, and we both depart. 10 minutes later, I get another knock on my door. This time, it's two cops with Tile Mother behind them and Tile Dad watching across the seat. I open the door and ask them what the problem is. Oh, shit. Cop 1 tells me that Tile Mother said I said that I had been yelling at her. Tile Dad said and their two kids for no reason, and both of them approached me to discuss this like adults, to which I insulted them by calling them names and making fun of their weight. Both of them were clearly obese. I explained to my officers just how absurd those claims were and offered them the video with my phone to confirm it. And immediately Entire Mother starts to freak out. You can't record me. That's illegal. Arrest him. Ma'am, it's on his property. He has the right to do so. Now, if you please wait across the street. Unbelievable. So I show both officers the videos on my phone, and they start smirking and nodding their heads up and down. Cop 2 mentions how that's pretty pathetic, how they're upset over something they can't control. Cop 1 says that I'm pretty much off the hook, but just so it looks like they didn't come out for nothing, they asked for my license to run, which I give consent. Cop 1 took my license and went over to Entitle Mom and Entitled Dad for the same thing. Both pulled out their licenses and handed them over to Cop 1 and 2. Waited with me just in case. Over to Cop 1 and Cop 2 waited with me just in case. My bad. I didn't see that dot. I could see Cop 1 in his car running our licenses. He gets to the last one and then stops for a good 5 minutes. Then I heard his voice come over Cop 2's radio. John, not real obviously. Come over here. Cop 2. Roger. Cop 2 told me not to move as he went to the squad car. After a 5-minute discussion, Cop 2 jogged over to me and handed my license back to me. I asked him if everything was okay, to which he said that I was in the clear and could go back inside. I decided to sit on my porch to see what would happen next. Both officers went over to Entitled Dad and Entitled Mom. After a few months, Entitled Mom her license to which Entitled Mom yells the loudest "What?" I've ever heard in my life. the two cops and then put entitled dad in cuffs and then give him his Miranda rights as they escort him into the cop car. Until mom starts going berserk, ugly crying, runny nose, the works. After they drive off, until mom yells at me across the street saying how it's my fault for what just happened. To which I replied that I'm not the one who called the cops. She replied by shouting, "Whatever!" and 10 times as she started to walk back to her house. I see a school bus turn the corner at the end of my street, at which point I shouted at her, "Now how are you gonna explain this to your kids?" Until mom, as loud as she could possibly yell, screams me to go fuck myself, and she breaks the glass in her door as she slammed it shut. I really couldn't hear anything from her house except the occasional angry outburst. And believe it or not, nothing happened for a few weeks. Then a month, 2 months passed. Then one day I come home from work and see foreclosure sign out in her front yard. By sheer dumb luck, my house hosted my cousin's birthday, and my aunt invited several of her friends over. One of her friends just happened to work for a town's police department as a clerk. My aunt's friend heard about the foreclosure across out the street and wanted to know what happened. It was a nice home after all. After I explained what happened, her jaw hit the floor, and then she told me exactly why entitled dad was arrested. As it turns out, there was a warrant out of entitled dad's arrest for armed robbery at all the way back in the 80s. That's not all. He committed the crime in Ohio and crossed state lines to live in New York, thereby nullifying statute of limitations. The only reason why he was finally caught is because the town he committed the armed robbery in finally entered the 21st century and digitized their paperwork just a year earlier. She knows this because she had to file the paperwork to extradite him back to Ohio. 2 months after the party, entire mom and her kids get evicted and I never see them again. The property is still on the market, though I can easily see it being bought soon enough. The only ones I feel bad for are the kids. They really didn't do anything wrong, but the messed up other side of the coin with that is if, logically speaking, they didn't cry about my friends, their dad wouldn't have gotten arrested that day. But I tell myself that he would have gotten caught sooner or later, so it was bound to happen. TLDR, until parents' kids want my friends taken down, lose their dad and house in the process. Comment by Mew. Think wrong. Why call the police on anyone when you're wanted? Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. Oh wait. To be fair, entire mom might not have even known about her husband's past if it was all the way back in the 80s. Right, this was the last post for today's video. I'm probably going to play some Minecraft today. I'm not 100% sure. Well, I'll see you guys next time. See ya.